Today's all about alliums, the family that includes onion, garlic, shallots, and leeks. They're in every dish, but they tend to disappear. Not today. We're starting with a fried flowering onion. It's gonna be crunchy and delicious. Cheesy garlic pull-apart bread that's soft and amazing, and creamy leek with breadcrumbs. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Delicious. Also, I have a very strange relationship with the onion. I love it so much, but it makes me cry. Can we come to agreeable terms to stop the pain? So put on your chef hat and tie your apron tight, because today they're gonna be the focus. They're gonna shine bright like a diamond.
Life can be a struggle, but a good meal doesn't have to be. We can make creative, nutritious, and inventive dishes that won't break the bank. We'll eat well and save money, because that's what we do. Welcome to Struggle Meals.
We're gonna make a fried flowering onion. We're gonna have a delicious, salty, crispy batter, and we're gonna cut the onion in such a way that it blooms open like a gorgeous rose. This is a really fun appetizer, and it's a fun thing to share with friends. It's all about celebrating the onion. It's my friend. It is also my enemy. The things the onion has said to me over the years. Unbelievable. This is a Vidalia onion. It's like a little bit sweeter, but this could be a yellow onion. It could be a white onion. Doesn't really matter. We've got the root end here. We want to keep this together, so we'll cut off the stalk end. And now we'll peel the skin. All right, so now my relationship with the onion is already beginning. I can feel it in my eyes. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I love it. I hate it. I hate it. I love it. Cut side down, we've got our root end right here. We're gonna come like right here and just go straight down. And then we'll go quarter turn, again, quarter turn, again, quarter turn, again. Now I'm gonna have the quarters. Boom, straight down. So I'm just cutting right between my two previous cuts. And now we can do it again, but let's come further away so that we don't disturb this spine that's gonna hold everything together. So instead of cutting here now, we'll like do it out here. Okay, so we'll just get a little bit happening like that. You can kind of go in with the knife. So as I'm cutting, I'm pushing in. All right, so we're all cut. Root is still holding everything together. Spicy eyeball syndrome is happening. Damn. Let's dress this guy up. So we're gonna make a dredge for our onion right now. It's gonna start with flour. Put some cornmeal so we get some texture. Some cayenne pepper, some paprika. This is gonna give some smokiness. Salt, pepper. And look at that, a gorgeous smorgasbord of dredge colors. Oh, actually, it's just mostly white now. Boo. We're gonna make the batter that makes all this stuff stick. So we start with some milk. I'm gonna throw in 2 eggs. Mixing the eggs into the milk. Now it's time to dress the onion. So this is what I like to call the triple threat method. Onion into flour, wet it, back into the flour, wet it, back into the flour again. That way we get very thick and extra sticky, crispy, crusty stuff on the outside. We're gonna start with the flour. We're just gonna push the onion. We're gonna come this way. Just pull some of the petals back just ever so slightly. You can dump off the excess now. Use your other hand. We'll come into our mixture. Gorgeous, up and out. And into the dredge. Come in with the dry hand, sprinkle it all in there. Coming upside down, shaking the excess. Coming back into the milk and egg. Spinning it again. Okay, here we go. All right, look at this. I'm putting this in the fridge so the batter really, really sticks. And in the meantime, I'm gonna heat up my fry oil. Our onion is all chilled, so this oil's hot. It's ready to go, and we can put our onion in. Put this into the oil, cut side down, so all the oil can go up into the crevices of the onion. Don't just dump the whole thing at first because, you know, it could overflow. Let's make the sauce. Here I've got sour cream. It's something to cut through all the richness that we're gonna have in our onion. Onion powder, garlic powder. We're gonna hit it with salt. We're gonna hit it with pepper. We're gonna go to the package drawer and get some mayo. We're gonna get some lemon juice in there. We'll squeeze the juice right in. Let's take a look at the onion. I say we flip it over. It is definitely flouring. Oh, baby. Let's get some herbs into the sauce. Some cilantro here. So I'm just gonna give it a rough chop real quick. Chives here. So we're just gonna come in. Beautiful. So it looks like our onion's just about ready. Dude, are you kidding me? Come on, this is awesome. This is fresh out of the fryer. Let's salt it right now. Best time to do it. Time to get our sauce ready to go. It's super impressive. It really, really features the onion as the flour that I know it to be when it's on my good side. It's only $1.66 a serving. When you think about it, that's a good deal. Let's dig in. You're my best friend, man. Hot, fresh out of the fryer, crispy from our thick batter, which is fantastic. It's salty, it's got a little bit of spice. That onion on the inside is sweet and smooth and then all that richness is just cut with our very, very simple, quick sauce. You know, despite the occasional tears, I do love the onion. Watch out, onion, because garlic's coming up next. The allium family. There's a whole bunch of members that each have their unique characteristics, but they do have a lot in common. Let's get to know them. Onions. They make me cry, but I love them. Our relationship is complex. There are 3 main types of onions: red, yellow, and white. Yellow and white onions are pretty interchangeable. The yellow ones just tend to be a little sweeter. The red onion has a sharper flavor, and that's why I like it for pickling or grilling. On a different branch of the family tree, shallots. They're a little sweet with a hint of garlic. From the outside, a shallot can look like a misshapen mini red onion, and on the inside, it has multiple lobes, just like a garlic head has multiple cloves. The layers of a shallot are much smaller, so when they're finally minced, they just melt into the dish. Garlic, with its strong aroma and pungent taste. It's a favorite in the allium crew. Depending on whether you slice it, mince it, or smash the garlic, you can get a variety of notes. Sauteed, minced or smashed garlic is going to release more juices and be more pungent than sliced or whole garlic cloves. Roasted or confit, garlic transforms into a soft, buttery, sweet flavor. Leeks and chives and scallions, oh my! Leeks, they're big and green, and they add a complex yet mellow flavor to any dish. Chives, they're small, they're delicate, and they can be grown in your own backyard. Their taste is sharp, and they're the perfect addition to soup, dips, or potatoes. Scallions, also known as the green onion. They bring a mild onion flavor with no tears. I like to use both the green and the white parts. I'd end this segment with an onion joke, but it wouldn't be very funny and you'd probably cry. We're making cheesy garlic pull-apart bread. It's gonna be soft, it's gonna be airy and amazing, and that means we need the garlic to match the texture of this impossibly fluffy bread. We're gonna roast the garlic. How do we do it? It's easier than you think. So here's our head of garlic. We're just gonna cut off the very top of the garlic head so we can expose some of the cloves. Let's put our garlic right on some foil, some oil into the cloves. Hit it with a little bit of salt, fold the whole thing up, keep the cut side up, just go like that right there. This is just gonna go straight into the oven for about 45 minutes or until it's super soft. Like soft enough that the cloves just squeeze right out. Super cool. So it's time to make our dough, and this is like an extra rich and super moist, soft roll. It's the milk, butter, and eggs that are gonna make these rolls super soft. We're gonna start by heating some milk in a pan. We just wanna warm the milk. We don't want it to be super duper hot because we're trying to wake up the yeast. We're not trying to kill them. So you can just put your finger in there, and if you can withstand it, it's ready to go. We're gonna go to the packet drawer and get some honey. And this is just gonna be some natural sugar for the yeast to start eating. If the yeast eat, then they release gas, and that's what rises the dough. Yeast love sugar too. Got our yeast, let's pour that in. Here we go. The nice warm milk and the honey, they're both waking up the yeast and feeding them at the exact same time, okay? Got some melted butter we're gonna put right in there. 1 egg. Nice, luxurious, rich flavor to our rolls. We're mixing this up until it's homogeneous. We are there. The yeast are waking up. You can see all these little bubbles. They're starting to eat. They're starting to fart. That's literally what's happening. Let's add the flour to this dough so that they've got some complex carbohydrates they can munch on. We'll throw some salt in there as well. So I like to start with like a pretty small spoon or a small spatula. I find if it's like much bigger on the end, more dough will stick on it and it's actually harder to mix. Now that this has come together in sort of like a craggly blob, we're gonna turn this out so that we can really make a nice smooth dough. Sprinkle a little more flour around the edges, and we're just gonna press and fold and heel of our hands in. So I'm just kind of like folding it in half, palming it, giving it a little push. We're both combining the mixture, creating gluten, and fully hydrating the flour all at the same time. I've got a bowl right here. It's got a little oil in it. Put my dough into the oil, twist, and try to get the oil up all over the sides of the bowl. Also gonna flip the dough around so that the oil is all over the top of my ball of dough. So now we're oiled on the sides of the bowl. The dough is oiled, and all we gotta do is cover this. Really important you get a pretty tight seal here, otherwise you're gonna create like a dry skin on the dough, and as it grows, it's gonna crack. We don't want that, so we're just gonna let this sit for about 45 minutes or until it's double the size. That's right, I said it, double. Keep an eye on her, piggy. So our garlic is roasted, I've let it cool. The aroma is intoxicating. Mamma mia. And now with our hands, we can literally just squeeze the cloves out. The reason I want to keep the cloves whole is because we're going to stuff them inside of the bread. Here, we've got some string cheese. We're just going to cut these into thirds here. 12 pieces of cheese for the 12 rolls. So we've got our fillings. Now let's go get our dough. Looking amazing. It's at least twice the size. Let's just punch the gas right out of this. We want to get 12 equal pieces here. Make a log. Cut this log in half again, and then we'll have 4. And then if we go in thirds, we're good to go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's just flatten this. Let's throw in 1 string cheese, throw in 2 cloves of garlic. And now we can just roll this over like that, pinch the whole thing together. Try to make a ball. I've got my cast iron pan. It's really well greased up. I'm gonna put these right into it. I'm really trying to work it as minimally as possible because the more you work it, the more dense it's gonna be. And then that whole pull apart thing doesn't happen. I'm not pushing too hard. I'm just trying to get some shape. If there are any garlic cloves left over, we can just sort of nestle them into places in the skillet. We're gonna let them rise again. It's gonna be about an hour. Look at these. They've gotten so big and poofy. Now we're just gonna bake them till they're golden brown. Baby, they are golden. They are brown. Our rolls look amazing, but you know what'll make them even better? A garlicky butter that we pour over top. So let's do it. Got a head of garlic here. I'm just gonna take the palm of my hand and push into the top of the garlic, and that's gonna break it open. And now we're gonna take about 2 cloves. We're just gonna start by melting our butter. Now we're gonna take the skin off of these cloves. Gently try to crack the skin. Then you should be able to sort of run it between your hands like this, and the skin comes right off. Take this last piece and just rip it off. I've got a microplane here. This garlic is not gonna cook for very long. We're gonna put the garlic right in. So this garlic is just gonna be a little bit softer than raw garlic. And so we're gonna have like a really pungent, in-your-face flavor. When you combine that with the roasted garlic inside of the bread, we're getting like multiple personalities out of our garlic, which means more garlic flavor. And that's exactly what we want. We're gonna head over to the herb garden and grab some parsley that's gonna brighten up our garlic. This is brilliant because I paid for these seeds months ago, and now I'm getting free food. All right, that's going right in. The butter smells super garlicky. I'm very excited. I'm just gonna spoon this over top. Here we go. Ho, 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 ho. Around the edges like this. This is actually how the earth was created. Crevices between land masses that were colliding towards each other created dips, and then it rained, and it created lakes. And right now we have lakes of garlic butter. Ah, it smells amazing, and it's only 32 cents a serving. This is the perfect way to invite alliums to your dinner table. Here we go. Oh. The bread is super soft and moist on the inside, and of course the treat is the roasted sweet garlic in the center. What makes this garlic recipe so awesome is that we have 2 preparations of garlic. So we get to see the mellow, sweet, smooth side of garlic, and we also get to see the sharp, in-your-face, listen-to-me side of garlic. Together we get all the garlic flavor that we love, and that's the purpose of this. More alliums coming up. It's time for a struggle challenge. Can't wait to see the alliums get worked into this one. All right, I'd love to know how not to cry while I'm chopping onions. How do I stop the onion tears? I mean, I've had the same problem with onion for years, and I've got all the tips and hacks, but I'm just not sure I've found one that solves the problem yet. So, I don't know. Should we make some food? Let's see what's in the fridge. No! My friend! My enemy! We haven't even cut one and I'm already sad. This is like a whole lot of onions. So I say, let's chop up a whole bunch of onions, and at the same time, I'll work my way through all the methods that prevent onion eye. Let's chop some onions, and let's see some anti-crying techniques. We're gonna try a fan first to see if that works. The idea is that the fan blows away the onion aroma that would make us cry. I'm starting with a yellow onion. So I am not crying right now. I do feel a little tickle in the back of my throat. The fan seems to work. I would say this is a pass. They say if you light a candle, it'll prevent you from crying. We've got a white onion. No, this doesn't work. This method is bogus. They say if you chew on a piece of white bread, you won't cry from chopping an onion. I must absorb the flavor. Nope. No, that makes sense. This one does not make sense. They say wearing goggles prevents you from crying while chopping an onion. Yep. I mean, this is a pleasure. The goggles are the winner. So if you're cool chopping onions like this, I mean, this is the answer, for sure. And I think if you're doing this in the kitchen, people know you're serious. We've got a whole bunch of onions. I'm making onion soup, okay? So we caramelize the onions down, get the natural sugars to be the front forward flavor. And the best place to do that is in the cast iron pan. It's my favorite pan in all the land. So let's get that on the fire. I'm gonna go olive oil and vegetable oil, and we're gonna add our onions. Now, so there's two ways to caramelize onions. One is low and slow. You stir it, takes like over an hour. The other way is what I like to call the fast way. You go high heat, you stir it a lot. This method makes the whole thing happen in between 15 to 20 minutes as opposed to an hour. So I like it because I like speed. All right, so we're gonna add salt. 2 packets granulated raw sugar. It does take a long time for all the water to come out of the onions and for the sugar inside the onion to concentrate. You make me cry when you caramelize. Maybe there's hope for me and you, but I don't know. It is worth noting right now that I'm making a giant French onion soup that will be served communal style. Obviously, this usually comes in individual little ramekin, but we don't have that, so we've got to do it in a cast iron pan. So we caramelize the onions down. We add a rich bone broth, preferably of beef. Then we're gonna put little pieces of bread everywhere, so we add some body and it soaks up the broth real nice. We're gonna finish it with a whole bunch of cheese on top that we're gonna broil. Normally this would be like a Swiss or a Gruyere cheese or something like that. I've got some mozzarella and I'll grate some Parmesan onto it. Not ideal, but it's okay. Let's sprinkle this about town. What do you say? Let's get a little Parmesan on there just for some extra flavor. Crazy idea, but I think it's gonna be great. Under the broiler. Let's pull it. Ugh. But you know, compared to other struggle challenges, it's looking a little bleh. I am awarding it a 6 on looks. French onion soup is not a looker, let's be honest. Is it even soup at this point? Where did all the liquid go? Oh, this is very ugly. There's just no two ways about it. But that doesn't mean it's not gonna taste great. I mean, how can this be bad? Onions are caramelized. They are the center of the dish. The flavor is wonderful, salty, sweet, and the melty cheese is tasting great. I'm giving it a 9 on flavor just because it's a little shy on broth. But the challenge was, how do you not cry while cutting onions? The world was waiting, holding their breath, and we figured it out today. Many of them are hocus pocus, but the fan and the goggles work great. Thank you for this challenge. We're gonna make a leek casserole that's fit for a king. You know, often I have a dish and sometimes I wonder, hey, why is this so delicious? And the answer is there's leeks in it. They're the often overlooked middle child of the allium family. Except today, they're not gonna be playing a supporting role against potatoes. It's pretty much always potatoes, isn't it? Today, they're gonna shine. They grow in the ground. And if you imagine this down here when it's young, pushing up through the dirt, then you can really understand that these are dirty on the inside, right? Totally. So let me show you how to clean them. Cut this part off right here. And right away, by the way, look at how dirty. We're gonna save these for our stock bucket. They're delicious. So now we're gonna take the white part and we're just gonna cut these in half the long way. I'm gonna put them in a bowl like this, pour some water over them. I'm just kind of running my finger through the gills here, if you will, right? Just kind of going like that, and you can fold it out the other way. And if you pull these out, look what's left behind. Oh, you dirty leek, you. So let's just take these and cut them into thirds. Pan, fire. I'm gonna come in with some butter. We're gonna have some garlic in this dish to play a supporting role against its big brother, leek. 1, 2, 3. So we're just gonna give this a little smash like this. It kind of breaks the hard skin, and then it makes it really easy to get the skin off. See that? Rolls right out. Garlic and leeks are in the same family, so they support each other pretty well. We're gonna add some fennel into this dish. We're gonna cut it through this way. Sometimes you got a big fat core. The big fat core is like a little bit too dense, so you can just give it a little V cut, and you could just pull that right out. Got our little animal grip. We could take the knife, and we could just start cutting right through. So we've got all the fennel. Here we go, right into our garlic butter. Packet drawer to the rescue. Once again, we got some hot red pepper flakes. Let's hit it with a little bit of salt. So we're gonna add kale. It's healthy, it's green, it's delicious. Let's come in with our leeks now. So we're gonna braise the leeks in cream. It's gonna be great. We need something to cut through that richness, so Dijon and nutmeg to the rescue. Packet of Dijon here. This is gonna cut through the richness of the cream. Nutmeg. It's such a great aroma with heavy cream and butter. I'm gonna make a crunchy topping here. Some butter. Totally melting the butter. Here we go. We're gonna add in some breadcrumbs. It's gonna get nice and crispy with the butter. So mix that butter around real good so it starts toasting the breadcrumbs. And now let's grate some Parmesan cheese. We got our cheese, we got our breadcrumb, bringing them all together, putting our breading on top. This is ready to go in the oven, 425 degrees for about 25 minutes. We're looking for those leeks to be super soft. So let's put it in. Oh, smells great. You can see the softness of the leeks already, just visually. So I really think this dish could benefit from a little sprig of parsley on top. This smells amazing. It's $1.35 a serving. Here we go, we've got our leek. Ooh, whoa. It is both creamy and light, spicy and crunchy all at the same time. Why is the leek so underrated? Not just as an allium, but as a central focal ingredient, period. I don't know. But if you make this dish, you'll be asking the same questions, because this is amazing. Today we explored the family of alliums. We had the fried flowering onion, the cheesy garlic pull-apart bread. We had leeks in a casserole. I loved it so much. And of course, my on-again, off-again relationship with the onion was conquered today. We are at peace. No more tears will be shed. Here's an ode to you, onion. You make me feel so good, red onion. Make my heart feel blue. Oh, why can't you see what you're doing to me? Why can't you see we were meant to be?